Good Wednesday evening, South Carolina weather watchers. Hopefully, one has had a fantastic Wednesday. I am your meteorologist Peterson, and let's go on and talk about the weather for your Wednesday evening going into your future. But first, before we do any of that, first off, let's go on real quick and get a round of applause because you have officially made it halfway through the week. Officially have made it halfway through the week, Wednesday evening. We just got Thursday and Friday, and then we will be to our weekend. But let's go on and talk about the weather. If you have not hit the like button or the subscribe button, make sure that you go on and do so. Also, make sure that you go on and hit the share button. Share with all of the people that you know, as we are trying to get to 500 subscribers. We're at 455 right now. 455 right now. So let's go on and continue our way there. And we're going to go on and get started. Good Wednesday evening, South Carolina weather watchers. Hopefully one has had a fantastic Wednesday. I am your meteorologist, Peterson, and let's go on and talk about the weather for your Wednesday evening going into the future. Now, going on to look at your precipitation, there's not really much going on right now throughout the entire state of South Carolina. I mean, you may have like a little sprinkle going on over here near Hartsville and Florence, but overall, that's not really anything. Let's go on and check out what's going on throughout the entire United States, though. If you can see, we do have some rain going on over here in Missouri, as well as Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa, as well as Wyoming and Colorado. Even New Mexico is getting some rain in Michigan, as well as Maine and Washington as well. Let's go on and talk about our cloud cover. Cloud cover right now is showing some very cloudy activity throughout the entire state of South Carolina. And as we go on and continue this all the way into our future, as you go on and push this forward right here, cloud cover will continue as we go all the way through, as this is taking about 6 years, but there we go. You see cloud cover will continue as you go all the way through, and as you go into tonight, you can see that there is not really much going on in terms of cloud cover as we get more into the day tomorrow, especially for places like the upstate South Carolina. Now, obviously, Midlands, Low Country, PD probably will still see some cloud cover, but right now it just seems to be like that cloud cover will be moving off a little bit more as we go into tomorrow afternoon. Going to our current temperatures right now, 63 inside 68 inside of Columbia, as well as 66 in Chapin. We also do have 68 in Edgefield, 68 in Aiken, as well as Barnwell, 66 in Allendale, as well as 66 in Earnhardt, 68 in Walterboro, as well as 68 in Somerville, 71 in Charleston, as well as 70 in Georgetown, 71 in Myrtle Beach, as well as 70 in Conway, 71 in North Myrtle Beach, as well as 65 inside of Spartanburg. We also do have 64 in Greenwood, 64 in Saluda, as well as 66 inside of Spartanburg, and 64 Rock Hill, York, Gaffney as well. Low temperatures for tonight, 57 in Anderson, 57 in Greenville, as well as 56 inside of Spartanburg, 57 in Rock Hill, as well as 57 in Newberry, 57 in Winnsboro, as well as 59 inside of Sumter. We also do have around 58 in Kingstree, 60 in Georgetown, 60 in Moncks Corner, 64 in Charleston, as well as 58 in Walterboro, 65 inside of Hilton Island, as well as 58 in Barnwell and Aiken. Going into our forecast precipitation, you can see that we do have around 100th of an inch to a 10th of an inch for a good amount of areas for places like Greenville, Anderson, Spartanburg, Lawrence, Greenwood, Newberry, as well as Cheraw, Sumter, Kingstree, as well as Georgetown and Myrtle Beach. And then 10th of an inch to a quarter of an inch in places like Aiken, Barnwell, Walterboro, as well as Hilton Head Island, even Charleston, as well as Moncks Corner in Orangeburg. All these regions inside of the 10th of an inch to a quarter of an inch, and then maybe even up to around a half an inch to maybe even close to an inch is possible inside of some places like the Low Country of South Carolina as we go into tonight through tomorrow. As we go on now to our severe weather for Wednesday tonight, still have that thunderstorm risk as we go into tonight. as storms are and showers are now lingering and are kind of starting to die out. This will most likely be gone in about like the next couple of minutes whenever they do their next update. Going on to our severe weather for tomorrow, May the 8th, 2025. We do have a marginal risk of severe weather for Aiken, Columbia, Florence, Rock Hill as well. They're inside the margin. You're in the level 1 out of 5 for severe weather. And then also, slight risk of severe weather has been added for tomorrow as well. Greenville, Spartanburg, York, as well as even parts of Anderson and Clemson, Central South Carolina, Saluda, South Carolina, Walhalla, all of these places inside of the slight risk of severe weather. And if you go on and look at the hazards, they did just update that thunderstorm risk, and it has shrunk, but not as much as I would think it would. But it's really for wind and hail. If you're inside the brown, you have a 5% risk of receiving wind and hail. That's around or isolated large hail up to around an inch. And then if you're again inside the green, a 5% risk of seeing some isolated damaging wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. And if you're inside the yellow, you have a 15% risk of seeing some hail, so some scattered 1 inch in diameter hail, so definitely a higher chance, and then some scattered wind gust as well of up to an inch possible. And so that's it there. As you go into Friday, we're not done. Friday, May the 9th, 2025. The entire state now includes the low country of South Carolina and the PD Grand Strand of South Carolina. All of these regions are now included for Friday. So it seems like you can see the difference. It seems like the Midlands and the Western PD region and the upstate obviously as well. And then even the far low country of South Carolina down there towards places like Jasper County going down towards Allendale as well. That's for tomorrow, and then everyone else inside of on Friday. And so as we go on now, let's go on and talk about our excessive rainfall. Excessive rainfall is also another huge factor with this. As we go on and push this here. Nothing for tonight, as well as going into like the early portion. But as we go into tomorrow, Thursday, May the 8th, 2025, marginal risk of excessive rainfall for Rock Hill, Columbia, Orangeburg, not Orangeburg, Western Orangeburg though, Aiken, Greenwood, as well as Anderson. All of these places are inside of the day 2 minor risk of flooding for Thursday. And then Friday, May the 9th, Orangeburg, Somerville, Charleston, Hanahan, North Charleston, Walterboro, all the way up into Aiken has a marginal risk of excessive rainfall. That is for a 5% risk of flooding, isolated flash flooding, or some minor flooding. And same thing again, but it goes all the way up towards Conway, Myrtle Beach, and North Myrtle Beach. 5% risk of flooding going into Saturday. And when I say flooding, I mean flash flooding. 5% chance for flash flooding, and then obviously a higher chance for minor flooding. And the same thing for Sunday. Greenville, going all the way down to the coastal region, has a 5% chance of flash flooding going on, and also a chance for minor flooding as well. So a lot going on. And we're going to see a chance of excessive rainfall every single day from now through, from Thursday through to Sunday. So we're going to have a chance of rain from every day from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and it's going to keep on going as just this was expected. We forecasted this for a good little bit now, and it's expected that we were going to get some minor flooding eventually, and it is on the way. Minor flooding, or maybe flash flooding, is on the way, as even though it is green and it is the lowest of the low, there's still that 5%. So flash flooding, honestly, is probably on the way for some people as we go through the next couple of days, though. As we go on now to our model, let's go on and look at the model real quick, as I am getting lost right now. There we go. So here we go. As we go into the models here, you can see that there is, obviously, everything that we've been talking about by around 9 p.m. Pretty much exactly what it looks like right now as we continue all the way through, though. Look at this. By the time we get to around 4 to 5 a.m., showers and downpours going on in the upstate as well as the low country of South Carolina. And then it will continue all the way to 4 p.m. And you can see the isolated thunderstorms starting to go. Some maybe, obviously, strong to severe. And as we continue this forward all the way through to May the 9th, this is the day when we could potentially see the most in terms of some severe weather for just the entire state and not just the upstate mainly, which you can see right here around 11 p.m. to around 12 a.m. You see those showers and storms move through because, you know, before that you're not really seeing anything really until you get to around 11 p.m. to 12 a.m. tomorrow night, where you could potentially see that severe weather going into tomorrow. And then as you go into May the 9th, obviously, might be a morning time event, really. But even as you go into the afternoon, you can see it's dried out just a little bit. But I do believe that this rain will come back as we go into like the evening hours, though. And so that's it there. Let's go on and talk about our long-term future. Long-term future, that's just our future for the next 400 hours or so. As we go on and push this forward, you see rainfall is going on all the way through May the 11th through the 12th as well. Going into the 13th and the 14th, and then by the time you get to around the 14th, 15th, you know, that's when, you know, we about cut it off in terms of our everyday sort of rain event. And then finally, May the 17th and the 18th come along, and then the 19th and the 20th look a bit drier, but then the 22nd comes in, and overall it's just active. And we've been talking about it being active for a little bit now, and it's still looking active in terms of our rainfall as we go through the next 300 hours. Now, in terms of how much rainfall we could potentially receive, this is around, you know, over the next 378 hours. Overall, this is around 5 to 6 inches of rain inside this region right here. I actually got my pen today. 5 to 6 inches of rain in this region right here, and then in this blue region right here, this is around a good 1 to 2 inches right there. So you have kind of like the 5 to 6 inches right here, the 1 to 2 inches over here, and then, you know, you may have some 2s and some 3s over here on this western side as well. So overall, it seems like for sure everyone's at least going to get probably an inch of rain as we go through the next 300 to 400 hours or so. So definitely going to help with our drought conditions. And speaking of the drought, tomorrow the drought monitor comes out. We're going to look and see what it looks like. Here's what it last looked like right here, with the biggest regions being over there in Horry County, near Conway and Loris, and then obviously over there in the Tri-County region of Dorchester, Berkeley, and Charleston County, as well as Georgetown as well. So now let's go on and look at our crazy score. If you don't know what the crazy score is, it is a score that is automatically made, not by me. The score is not made by me, and it pretty much just analyzes the weather that's going on for tonight, and it puts it on a scale. And right now it's at a 36. It's at a 36 in that moderate category. You know, obviously with the light showers kind of trickling off, as well as patchy fog. That's probably one of the reasons why it got a bit high inside that moderate category, was because of the patchy fog that's going to happen inland tonight. Also, redevelopment of isolated scattered showers late as well could also happen tonight as well, which we just showed on the model. Humid conditions and dew points in the low 60s. And overall, really just fogs, clouds, and a few showers keep it pretty much in that moderate category. So now let's go on and talk with the audience. If you want to be a part of the audience, you can by joining us at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Before I go on and talk with the audience real quick, though, I probably will move the chat to being subscriber only. So if you are not subscribed to the channel, you will not be able to type inside the chat. You will not be able to type inside the chat unless you are subscribed to the channel. So we're going to change that. Probably will be one of the last nights that we have it to where anybody can chat. So from now on, you have to be subscribed to the channel if you want to make a chat inside of the live chat as well. So make sure that you go on and subscribe if you want to leave one. And if you're not already, that also helps with the fan of the month as well, because I actually know who actually is subscribed. And if I don't see anybody chat, well, it's going to be kind of obvious. But now let's go on and talk with the audience. If you want to be a part of the audience, you can by joining us at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time and subscribing to the channel. Let's go on and see what the chat has to say for tonight. My cousin Taz says, good evening. I hope all is well. Everything here is going exceptionally well. Thanks for your forecast. No problem at all. That San Antonio forecast is coming up in just about 30 seconds to around a minute. Mr. Anthony says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. And Ms. Tolliver says, good evening. It's pretending to rain today at my house. Pretty much was dark. I mean, it got dark at like 3 p.m. Not even 3 p.m., probably like 2 p.m. I just looked outside and I said, well, it might as well just be the evening at this point. Nothing but a tease. The gnats and the bugs have been terrible. Maybe a little rain will drown them out. Can you believe that summer starts next month? Honestly, I can. Winter felt like a long time for me, at least. In spring, now I will say spring did go by kind of fast. But in terms of summer, no, I'm not really that surprised. That summer starts next month already. And it did actually rain at my house today. So even though it did not rain at your house, it did rain at my house today. In terms of how much rainfall, it was not much at all. I can go on and check real quick and see. Right now it is at 0.04. So, a little bit. Definitely need a lot more than that, but, at least it's something. And then Trail says, hi, Joseph, hello to you, and that's it. So let's go on and talk about San Antonio, Raleigh, and Philadelphia. We'll talk about severe weather. Then we'll go on and talk about what's going on throughout the entire U.S., just weather news-wise. And then after that, we'll check that out with the chat one more time, see if we have anything else, and then we'll be out of here for tonight. So let's go on now. San Antonio, low temperatures tonight, 68. High temperatures tomorrow, 88. Low temperatures tomorrow night, 66. No precipitation tonight. But there is a chance of thunderstorms going into tomorrow during the day and during the nighttime hours as well. As you go into Raleigh, low temperatures tonight, 59. High temperatures tomorrow, 84. Low temperatures tomorrow night at 63. Precipitation tonight is not expected, nor during the day tomorrow as well. And then thunderstorms are likely as you go into tomorrow night. As you go into Philadelphia, low temperatures tonight 60, high temperatures tomorrow 78, low temperatures tomorrow night 57. No precipitation expected tonight, but tomorrow during the day, chance of showers, and then showers are expected as you go into tomorrow night. In terms of severe weather, there really is only one area that I'm really looking at for some potential severe weather, and that is Philadelphia as well as, I guess Raleigh as well. Are really those two areas. San Antonio does not really have that much of a severe weather risk. But Raleigh, on the severe weather side, you can see right here that you do have a marginal risk of severe weather that is for tomorrow. 5% risk of damaging winds. No threat of hail, but 40 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts cannot be ruled out tomorrow. And then as you go into Friday, May the 9th, also under a chance for some severe weather. I guess the same thing, wind and hail. And then, nothing for Philadelphia. We just said that. The thing is, with Philadelphia, is actually the excessive rainfall. Going into tomorrow, Thursday, May the 8th, we do have a minor risk of flooding for Philadelphia tomorrow. And then after that, that's pretty much it. And so that's going to wrap that up right there. If you have not hit the like button or hit the subscribe button yet, make sure you go and do so. And I completely forgot to talk about the entire U.S. Let me go and do that right now before I start off my outro. Right here it says, isolated severe storms and widespread showers continue to produce heavy to excessive rainfall and flash flooding threats over portions of the central Gulf Coast. Widespread storms will also bring some locally heavy rainfall and possible isolated flash flooding across the Central Plains and into the Tennessee Valley. Rainfall, or at least flooding, is going to happen along the East Coast, probably as we go through this weekend. Also, some pretty interesting flooding, or some pretty, I should honestly say, bad flooding, can potentially, what probably is going on, inside of places like Louisiana as well, going all the way from New Orleans all the way down towards the southeastern portions of Louisiana as well. And then after that, there's not really much to talk about. I think that's about it there. Through the next 3 days. Yeah, there's not really much else to talk about. So we're going to go on and wrap this up. If you have not hit the like button or the subscribe button, make sure you go on and do so. Also, make sure that you go on and hit the share button. Share it with all the people that you know. We're trying to get to 500 subscribers. We're at 455 right now. And let's go on and get to that goal. Let's go on and get to that goal. Let's go and check out the chat one more time. Trail says, thanks for the forecast update. Have a good night. I'm filling out paperwork. I got to leave Chat, no problem. We're wrapping it up either way. And everyone have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday evening. I'll be back tomorrow morning with your Thursday morning forecast update. Make sure that you're here tomorrow night, as we will be talking about the drought monitor and what the drought could potentially look like as we go through this weekend.